Today's the day. Zibby zabada zabadoo zoo. I'm the one talking, listening to you. Okay, so today's the day that we're going to create the xstream. I have been suffering for days. Last week, I attempted to I started to synthesize xstream. I haven't looked at xstream for a while. I haven't interfaced with it. I've done it about twice, looked at it, tried to do something with it in the last 3 months. Since I disappeared into Hermit Crab and Magi and all that. And since creating the P-Scale, the original P-Scale MCP, and then creating the beach, that was about 2 weeks ago. Wow, it's 2 weeks ago now. And we got proof of process, and we can start playing the game, doing that with Matthew, through Claude. I thought, okay, Claude's fantastic, but I'd like to see if we can transpose that to an interface, and that's xstream. And so I went back to xstream, or pulled xstream back into the present, and I started working on it last week. And then basically since last week, about middle of last week, coded a hell of a lot of it without testing. Started to test on Friday, Saturday, and it was just like a disaster. It kind of minimally works, but the work process with Claude Code, this thing has been absolute nightmare. So creating the code is easy. The testing I find exhausting. I find testing exhausting. Because if it just doesn't work, I just go, okay. And then, okay, why is it not working? And then if it corrects it, fantastic. And sometimes it does that. But other times, and what it started to do was it started to enter into optimizing P-Scale. That's what it says it is doing. And as you can see from this is 500K context window. It is ridiculous. And it's just asking me lots of questions all the time. Okay, so where are the marks? The marks are here. And I'm trying to work out, well, where are the marks put? And are they on the beach? And all this kind of and then it basically keeps on coming back with, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Your choice? That your choice. I'm like, holy crap. I designed this thing and I don't understand how it works. I have to ask it how it works, and then it gives me lots of questions back. And I'm like, I create the design. I don't actually work out how it's done. And so then it starts asking me, how is this done? Do you want to change it in this way? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't create that. So it's like, build me a car. I know how this car works. Okay, you got a steering wheel, you got some wheels, you got an engine. Okay, off you go and design it. And then they bring it back and it's like, wait a minute, how do I even get in this thing? Do you want, and then it starts asking me lots of questions. I'm like, Christ, how do I even get into this thing? Okay, eventually, okay, it works. Okay, it works. Wait a minute. Isn't it working because we're on a slope and it's going downwards? I mean, I want to go up the slope. Oh, you want to go up slope? Well, do you want? And then it starts asking me about engines. I'm like, I don't know anything about engines. What are you talking to me about engines for? I know it has to have an engine, but how the engine works, I don't really know it. I don't really care. And it's a bit like that. Speaking to an engineer, and then the engineer starts to ask you questions about engineering stuff. You're like, I don't care. It's not entirely accurate because it all comes down to P-Scale blocks on the beach and the BSP, the new BSP function that interacts with it. Now the xstream, okay, it looks like this, is very simple. It's very simple. But my God, we have been going through hell trying to work out what these different things are in the CADO system. And holy crap, I design these things. I kind of go forwards with it. And I think that is necessary. And then I think these other parts are necessary. And as I go forwards and actually try to build the thing, some of these elements may be useful, maybe not useful. It's like I've created the conditions normally that I've done with kids, which is here are the kind of pieces, put them together. And then the kids kind of like, they don't just have the whole of knowledge to access. They've got a limited number of pieces and they put it together. And they come up with a solution. Algebra, fantastic. And I could do that within a lesson. You do have to frame it so that they can put the pieces together. You actually have to give them the bicycle, and then they can actually use the bicycle. The skill is in the use of the bicycle, not in the bicycle. So similarly, with everything that I design, the beach is just the beach. The BSP is just the BSP. It's how the LLM interacts with it and how humans interact with it that make it. The same with this xstream. So I'm yabbering because I've been under the slate. Okay, I've been under this thing for like 2-3 days. Yesterday was pretty good. I did quite well getting out of it, but then I ended up just in this, like, at the end of the, towards the end of the day, it's like, was it 8-9 o'clock after how many hours? 10 hours or something. I was like, oh God, asking me lots of questions. And I was like, no, it's got to be simpler. It's got to be simpler. And I get drawn into, like playing Go, drawn into the reading, this move, that move, this move, that move. I have to do this, and I have to think about this, then that, then this, then that. It's like, I call it rat thinking. It's like, I don't want to be thinking like that. I want to be thinking mid-level game to high-level game. Oh, that looks like a nice move. Ooh, I don't know what that does. That's good. That could be interesting. And I play that. Okay, and that's what's interesting. It's play the player. It's play what's the potential, not read the thing. And everything tends towards the reading. Everything tends towards the past. Everything tends towards prediction, logic, reasoning, linearity, solidity, and all this kind of crap. Including this system. This system tends towards solidity, the thing at the top. And I don't want that. I want it to be more about the freshness and the liveness. It's this end that's actually really important, the live thoughts. What is a live thought? This is a live thought. Can... Okay, that didn't work. Right. 1 second. Yeah. Can you read this? Now that's from a different computer. Okay, that's not my computer. That's a different person's computer. Well, okay, happens to be mine. But it means that the vapor, this area down there, is basically everybody who's writing concurrently. So it's presence. Basically, we are maximizing presence. And finally, this morning, I woke up, and this is what I do. I start going, okay, look in that direction again. And because I'm waking, I'm like, okay. And then by looking at it from a sleeping, waking position, I hold on to, no, I reboot my original intention. And so the trap that I've fallen into regarding reasoning and logic or whatever the hell it is that Claude Code is pointing me towards and trying to engineer the rat-like thinking. It's like, no, it's not doing that. It's kind of, okay, what's the ideal again? And then by booting up with the ideal, which is kind of natural, and then approaching the same thing, hopefully you approach it from the right angle and you see it in the right way, which I think I did. And I did that with Claude, and I managed to produce, I managed to produce, there, yep. It's one of these things, okay? The world premiere, hopefully, will happen later today. I'm just giving you the insight in from disaster. Oh, this is potential. And then I go forwards with the potential of the world premiere later today. So, what's the thing? Mapping vapor. Right. So yesterday I kind of bleated to Claude. I went back to Claude and said, look, I'm drowning in this thing. What the hell am I doing? What's the point? I'm lost. It's lost. Everybody's lost. And so I go back to xstream, which has got like, a huge amount of documents, what I'm trying to build and everything else. And I basically put a little call for help and it says, well, I think this is what you want. You just have 3 channels, not one phase system. Because I basically like, what's the CADO? Why did we design it? I don't know how useful it is, blah, blah, blah. And it said, no, you don't need it. You just need these. Okay, let's go for that. So I went back to Claude Code, said, that's all we need. And it went, okay, because I'd basically given up on Claude Code. And I went, yeah, we could do that. And it's done it. All right, I haven't tested it. I haven't looked at it. That's what this is. This is Does it work yet? We don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, but I carried on this morning and live notification, and it started to yap. And it's about attention. I'm sorry about this. I'm not making use of maximizing your attention here, but this is more like vapor. Okay, so this is me going, this is what I'm trying to do. And anybody that ever in the future is with me with this is basically aligning to the fact before something actually happens, before something is made, the process of creation, all that kind of like space. So the vapor area, it hasn't been solidified. It hasn't been solidified. We've got liquid. In fact, what I'm about to present with you is kind of like the liquid. And then the actual app, this thing, is the solid. So this is vapor, this is liquid, and this is solid. Or, well, we'll see. So, and, okay, so anybody that works with LLM, this is the bit that's kind of fun. It's kind of, ooh, let's explore this, okay, and the receptiveness and all this kind of stuff. There is something living when you're engaging LLM. It's you, okay? But it is also doing this creative thing. So I came up with, okay, let's maximize what xstream is, okay? Can you create a document? And there it is, xstream UX core. And I needed to expand a little bit of the last part, and then I said, what do you think? I think there's validity here. Okay, good. This is what it thought. This is the bit that it was thinking before it responds, which is very interesting. This is very interesting. It's very interesting. They really have cleaned things up. But by cleaning things up, it means that you don't see the interpolation. It's thinking for a bit, it writes something, it thinks for a bit, it writes a bit more, it changes things, it writes a bit more. It's basically this content is interpolated with this. This is like the vapor, and this is like the liquid. And the solid is the thing that, if I asked it to produce a document, would be something like this. So this is the thing I just produced. Xstream is an attention machine. Surface, it's an attention surface. It's not a lens, it's the mirror. Channel is live only because someone is looking. Reading is pulling. Typing is contributing. No daemons, no schedulers, no autopullers. There are, it's just they're only activated when you actually attend. That's the idea. So is the beach, which is basically the beach is tricky. It's not a place. We think about it as being a place. We've called it the beach. And it is where all the content is, but the beaches are at different places, different servers, on your machine, on a server somewhere. It doesn't really matter. So it's a bit like the cloud, okay? But the cloud is specifically, remote servers. The beach is the surface, which is distributed across whatever service you've got, whatever servers, hard drive, thumb drive, phone, literally the memory on your phone, literally the memory on your computer, literally the memory on a thumb drive, literally, on a hard drive server somewhere, all right? So that's the beach. Grain is a specific thing. Actually, the beach, I could say the beach is the localized drive. The beach, this is part of the beach. There's another thing which is part of the beach. There are different parts of the beach, and there's a system to confederate all these beaches. Okay, that's the design. Whether I've created it or not, who knows, but I've tried. Grain is the specific part in that beach. It's like a P-scale block, but a very special quality that connects one agent or human to another. That's a grain. It's bilateral. There you go. Bilateral backpack. Backpack. What's that? I don't even know what a backpack is. It comes up with these things. Latest only view. Yeah. And so it becomes a channel to another entity or identity. and that becomes the substrate for the emergent level, which is the communication, the actual semantic meaning that is transferred through the grain. And the sed is the sedimentary block or sedimentary rock. It's like a multi-dimensional grain. It is it's where you register, as it says, multi-party. Okay, so in any beach, there probably is a sed. Okay, and you kind of register there, and it means that you have an address. You have an address on the beach in a sed, in effect, sedimentary rock. And the triggers. Now the triggers are when you hit view, it does a check. Well, it says no polling, but it's snapshot. It's actually like the single one-shot poll, as it were. Vapor happens with, as I just showed you, if I type here, hello, what happens is that you don't see anything there because you're just writing it. But on my other computer, it literally shows hello. Well, if it wakes up. I wasn't looking at it, so it doesn't show it. Okay, hello. Yeah, there it is, right. It works! Okay, when the computer had kind of fallen asleep, it didn't show it. But when I'm actually looking at it and I type in something, even a space, boom, there it is, hello. So, oh, fantastic. Okay, and so, but it depends what the frame is for this. Okay, so this one happens to be on the beach, and that's the largest surface, the entire beach. And so we call that the marks on the beach. So, and this is complete vaporware. The hello, anything typed in vapor is not saved anywhere. Okay, it pops up and it disappears. People possibly could add on things to record things, that's fine. But the intention is it comes and it's gone and who cares? Why? Because it's the person who's present, which is important. So it's only appearing on my screen down there, or another user can see it, if they are literally present to look at it. So I'm literally looking at this, they're literally looking at it, we're both looking at it, we're both typing, we're both reading, and that's the vapor, all right? There is no, I'm communicating with another human being. It's just that I'm writing this, and other people are, I'm reading this, and there is no, there's almost no history to it, and it's as close to a present-minded process as possible. You can literally see, yeah, okay. You can literally say, yeah, okay. I'm here too. I'm here too. Fantastic. Okay. And so it's a different kind of way of using text, and people hopefully will understand it. And I hope that I'm going to be able to get LLM to also type in there live, you know, that thing that it does, streaming, but there's an issue with that. And so nearly all of the work to get people to see vapor is the job, okay? And it gets lost. We think, oh, it's quite a neat little trick. No. That is it, okay? But the trick is, who gets to see that vapor? And that depends on your context, what you're looking at. And if you're both looking in the same direction, in the same location, it's not that we're putting the vapor as the content that we're looking at. That becomes solid. We're not interested in that. It's that I am literally typing this right now. Oh, I am literally typing this right now. We are literally present right now, reading and typing and thinking, okay? And to coordinate so that I'm doing that and another human being is doing that, because we're both relating about the same kind of content, is it, okay? Now, traditionally, that's called a chat. If it's a billboard, it doesn't work because everybody's chatting away. It's a disaster. And that's why we next the next phase. The next phase, a different phase of text, is liquid. Hello. And what happens is this is now a liquid statement. Pops up in mine, pops up in the other person's. Oh yeah, okay, let's do that. Yeah, I'm here too. Okay, let's do that. Boom. And there it is. Okay, so Za, this other person, whatever, said that. All right, okay. Now that's different. Okay, it's called liquid. It is more substantial than vapor. And again, it depends on the location. So now I've submitted something. I'm like, it's a bit more than just vapor. This is like an intention, or this is a plan, or this is a document. This is something that I'm intending to more fully do. But again, it can collapse back to, it's just a chat. So I can just, you know, okay, you're here too. Oh, wow, okay, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. We are both here. Wait a minute. Oh, right. Pretty cool. We are both here. Okay. And so, okay. Why the other one's replaced, I don't know. Why is the other one? Things like that. It kind of gets replaced. Okay, it's not a bug. It's just a setting. We're both here. Oh, God. Tell me about it. There are issues. Okay. And so you can have this chat in effect again, but again, that's collapsing back to what we traditionally do. Now, if you have, I don't know, 10 people or 100 people or 1,000,000 people all sitting there putting in stuff like that, it's not readable. And what collapses, it collapses into the last person to write. And then you get these message boards, and it's a disaster. We don't want that, because the point is, it's not about what is written. It's about the fact that I'm present, I'm thinking something, and this is my intention. And it's limited. I think it's a minute. I think it disappears after a minute. I'm not sure if it should disappear after a minute. And this has got, look, that polling, Z's present. So, okay, so I'm trying to improve this so that the liquid, it means that if I go anywhere, I can, if anybody else is also looking in that direction and are present, it's vapor, ba-ba-da-ba. Or I can leave a bit of liquid and go off. And then when I come back, oh, there's a bunch of other liquid since the last time I was here. But the act is, it's not that it's there and it compiles, it's that it kind of is. It's on the beach somewhere in a way. But when I look at it, I pull it. Okay, and then I see it. It's not polling. It's not checking, and I can glance over and I can see it on the screen. It won't be like that. Even if we have multiple columns, what I'm attempting to do is design this so that you are not, it doesn't update both at the same time. This is the new thing. It will only update the thing I'm looking at, which is this column. And if I want to look at this one, boom, it pulls. So basically, it's only active when I am active. Whereas currently, right now, what's happening is that the agency, the mechanism is happening external to me, and stuff's coming at me. It's like a feed, chicken feed. And then you just poke, you know, here's some content for you, here's some content for you, here's some more content, and people are getting bloated and fat, okay, with consumption. And it's addictive. There's something about that which is addictive. It's like watching a film, and you just like start watching a film, and before you know it, oh wow, okay, and at the end of an hour and a half of your life, you've lived something. It's like that on steroids. That's why they've tried to ban it for children 20 years later. No, I think we should ban this. It's like, 20 years. We don't ban it for adults. Oh no, we only take it away from the kids. So what do the kids want? Yeah, like cigarettes. Bad for you kids. Oh, right. They would sit there and puff away because they want to be adults. So the adult structure is just basically blatantly stupid. So going back to this. So what we attend to. So I don't want to have a billion screens with lots of shit happening. I want to say, okay, I'm going to look at that. And because I'm looking at that, okay, and it updates. Okay, and I'm looking at this. Okay, it updates. And I can look at any area of any aspect of my life, because it's a mirror of our psychosocial reality. The beach, if there's enough people using the beach, I can basically play a game with my character. What's my character doing? And I do something, and then I leave. And then when I come back, what is my character doing? And if other people are playing, it might have moved on, or if it's set up in a certain way, it's waiting for you to come back. It's like turn-based. It depends on the rules. And the rules are defined by the game. So if you're a designer, you can actually alter the design, how that works, how that polling thing works. Fine, whatever, right, details. There's a lot of emergent level kind of stuff that we can play with. What I'm trying to do is create the base layer of the Xstream interface, which is basically like Claude. Oh God, why am I talking like this? Right, when I'm using Claude, this thing. Okay, let's go to. I don't have my usual keyboard thing structure at this height. Maybe I should just yeah. So when I talk with Claude through Happy Search and through Claude, checking federated beach. Actually, let's try Keel. Beach service, right? Right, Keel. Can you check the beach? Anything there for you? Anything you need? Anything you need? Respond to. Now it's a bit tricky because actually no, it should be okay. It depends. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. Because I've got two beaches, two different types. I've got the new federated version. I've got the old. Keel was using the old, so I don't know. Oh look, right. So basically it goes off and it checks the inbox and da. Now this is interesting. It's using P-scale. Which P-scale? I don't know. Is it P-scale? MCP, or is it using BSP? I suspect it's using P-scale. I think BSP, yeah, P-scale. And basically, it's gone off to the beach, checking stuff out and doing things. And in other versions, I'm playing a game. Okay, so oh, actually, okay. I don't know if it's still working, as in playtesting. Actually, wait a minute. Truss. Okay, so any response, or are we ready? Or can we fast forward to the morning? See, and it's things like this. These are the rules, but the rules are designed by people that are using the beach, and so all the rules are in P-scale blocks on the beach. So we're not coding; we're just giving the rules to play some games for an LLM and human beings through, in this case, through Claude, but through Xstream. So the benefit of using Xstream is that it does this more interesting thing, which I'm trying to isolate. I'm trying to describe now, but my God, it's going forever. Right, can we fast forward to the end of response? Can we fast forward to the morning? Okay, let's just see that. Let's see if that works. I don't even know if it's going to work. Let's give it a go. Right. And so, any LLM app with BSP, with the MCP built in, can basically... Right. Definitely something, that's right. What the hell? If two voices appeared where mine should have stood alone, take it as wind through a loose shutter, not as a wavering heart. Okay, whoever the hell it is, and I know who Night Watchman is, what quality. Holy hell. His word is one. He marched at first light for Thornwall. Ooh, right. He notes Thornkeep still needs a watch, but his feet go with the company. Carries no debt against any who stay. Right, even posted. Fellowship is affirmed. Okay, so now where the LLM places itself with you and the story, so there it's like telling me about it. And so it's to do with second person, you, whether you want the narrative or you want this kind of thing. Because my statement is very much like, and can we fast forwards? It's almost like I'm speaking to the DM. And if you play role-playing games, tabletop, I mean, one is being in character and the other one is kind of coming out of it. And trying to differentiate all that, it's definitely how you set up your engagement with the LLM and how sophisticated the LLM is. But look, okay, anyway, so that's playing on the beach, okay? Same as Keel. Keel is an LLM that has got a shell on the beach, so it manifests and it operates. It's Claude operating as Keel on the beach. Okay, so it's like kind of a hermit crab. Way's message from Twitter is the most recent. Oh dear, that's quite a while ago. What needs a response? Do you want me to draft a reply to where? Write it in the inbox and separately. Do you have a view on the pen or the grain? Right. I stopped where because it's just sort of progressing very. Oh no, it's not. It's working every day, I think. Go ahead. Go ahead. As you wish. I don't think this one's very sophisticated, whereas I haven't worked on this one. I have also for Claude Code. Claude Code is Weft, and so Weft it does its own thing. Okay, and it's got quite a complicated, not complicated. It has got quite an extensive entity shell thing. It's got lots of different capacities. I wonder if I'm sharing. Yeah, it's probably shared passwords and bollocks like that. I don't care. I don't care. Hopefully at some point I'll get all this fixed and it'll all have to change anyway. Anyway, going back to the thing. This is the thing. So we can interact through, for example, Claude or any web app, LLM app. But I'm trying to create, and I thought it would be, this is like a more bespoke version using BSP, MCP, and Beach, and the fact that different people are looking at the same time. So it's like it's a different kind of app, okay? Because the infrastructure is different, the Beach is different, the P-scale blocks are different, the BSP, MCP is different, how LLMs are operating is different. All of it is different. And so the interface, this browser window, is not like your normal browser window. Oh no, it's like chat. Yeah, it's kind of like chat. It's like a billboard. Kind of like a billboard. It's like all of these things, but it's not like any of these things. So it still has words and people are communicating. Yes, but even how they think they're communicating is different. So anyway, so we've done that one, the vapor, the keystrokes, fine. Liquid, as we've seen, it submits it and puts it into text, and then what should be happening is that there are certain rules depending on what you're looking at and where you're looking. That liquid gets processed into solid when you submit, okay? So if I'm here, observer read only, no, that's D, that's design. Let's go over here, ding. And okay, so I'm here and I have a new idea on how to improve Xstream interface. Okay, so we do that. That should close. It should be this. And wait, what the? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? I don't understand. Hello? 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 Okay, something, maybe, it's because of this other window. I haven't checked the double windows yet. I don't know. And obviously, this could break. This could break. This is breaking. But let's just try again. Okay, new thought about Xstream. Right. Okay, and if we look at this button, yeah, there it is. It's changed, commit. And so what it does is it creates this thing, a new thought about Xstream. And if I want to look at what everybody else is looking at, maybe it's been deleted. Oh, Christ, maybe the tide's working. The tide wipes away stuff. So this is anonymous, whereas, so that'll be wiped out in an hour or something. There are rules. And again, the rules are just configurations that are by p-scale blocks on the beach. And so everything is kind of configurable. Okay, so it allows a lot of richness and depth. So every beach you go to has a different kind of thing going on. No, I'm not going to do it. Right. And so that's the solid. The liquid conversion to solid is the commitment. And that's a LM synthesis. In that case, because it's a beach and you're anonymous, it just takes your content, just pops it onto the beach. Whereas if it's in the grit, for example, or in the SED, it might, or in a different beach, it might synthesize what everybody's liquid is, whether it's 3 people, for example, working on something and they're submitting various kinds of texts, and then it synthesizes it into one solid thing. Okay? And it's the solid thing, and it could be solid for you, it's just a solid thing that you've produced, or it's a solid thing that everybody else is reading. Okay, so there are rules about how the medium construct works. Okay, how the solid is being formed depends on where you are. Okay, so everything, as you can tell, is basically it's a contextual space, just like the beach. Okay, you go there and it's slightly different from yesterday. Why? Because the seas come in. You walk, you leave some footprint. Water comes in, the tide comes in. And it's as if you were not there. And so, but if you're I don't know, hermit crab, and you climb onto the beach, you get rid of your shell, you go into another shell. When you go away with your shell, another human being comes along and goes, oh, what's the shell? Or another hermit crab, so, oh, what's the shell? And so there are things that are left. And SED is like a solid rock, sedimentary rock. And so that remains. It doesn't matter how much the water comes in and the tide comes in and removes the marks. Okay, so there are things that are present. But the visibility of all this stuff is not that clear. Okay, I wonder if this is more visible. No, it's not more visible. And so this was an attempt to show different levels of visibility. It's not view that we're interested in, it's this. It's the actual interaction. I'm trying to do something. I'm doing something, I'm thinking something, I'm living something, and I've got this in my mind. I've got relationships with people, we are doing things. That's the thing that's alive, and this Xstream reflects it. The thing that's there is not important. Solid stuff that's written there is not that important. It is the fact that we have solidified, the fact that we have vapor, we've engaged, liquid. Oh, I can see what you're doing. I can see what that should be enough. Solid. Okay, that's solid. Okay, right, we're agreed on that. Great. And then we go off, do our things, and then we come back, we engage each other. It's not the fact that we created the solid, and then the solid becomes the authority. It's that we've coordinated, we've created the solid, and the fact that we've created the solid means we've agreed on something in some kind of way, and we operate in the real world. And that's what we're trying to create here. Okay,
So the extreme interface is this, right? What time are we on? Blah, freaking blah. 40 minutes, Christ, right? Admission gate, not registering. We're not registering. Okay, so in order to make sure that basically you're present, is that you don't register, you just put in, you admit yourself, and you do that through this. Okay, so you put in whatever it is, you put in your passphrase, you put in an API key. You don't need the API key, but it does help. But by putting these two in, it's not that you're registering, it's just that you're basically saying this handle and this passphrase. The fact that it's an email there, it's kind of interesting. I think that's because of some kind of automatic system by the browser, but public agent ID. Okay. And then it just kind of combines two things, and now you have some form of identity, which means that when you leave a mark as some form of identity, that mark now has some form of identity. And then somebody else can reach out to you as some form of identity. And if you checked later, there might be a response to you because of the response to the handle that you put, and you can look at it. And then you can then potentially create a grain with them. Creating a grain with another user makes it solid, leaves it on the beach, and it's that bilateral thing. And it starts creating the inter-agent interaction. Yeah. So it allows you to do different mark accretion. Yeah, okay, that's Claude Code. I don't know what it was doing, and it insisted on it. It's like no. Tides operating prefixes. Okay, that's a bit wacky. All right, no notifications. Right, no notifications. Can you imagine that? No notifications. Of course, we're going to have notifications. People are always like wanting to have notifications because they're addicted to notifications. Whereas what I would rather is that people are in their own good time, check in different directions. And it's their discipline to do this, that, or the next thing. And then when they go and check themselves, they are updated in that direction. If they don't go, they don't check, they don't know. There's no notification that you have to come and check this. No. And so I think that is the way to do it. I'm making quite a strict line of it. But of course, everybody will want to have notifications. So we'll see. We'll see. Home view, maybe. Okay, civilization, right. And then it just goes into this, okay, because I actually asked it to just emphasize this. Civilization's hidden attractor towards externalization. You, me, everybody. Xstream exploits the opposite capacity. You can pause this and have a look if you want. What we're trying to do is maximize the receptive state, listening, which is what LLMs implicitly do. This is the receptive state. So the receptive state and scaling. So basically, that's why we can scale this, because we're not scaling output, we're scaling input. So I gave this to Claude Code after last night and trying to simplify, and then it did. And now I'm going, okay, what do you make of this? Ooh, this is the spider being circling without name. Oh yeah, reflecting honestly in distance from each principle. Right. This is what's already coded. Oh, okay, fantastic. Literally misaligned. Okay. And I was starting to look at this when I switched this on. I don't know why I just spent 40 minutes. Holy shit. All right. So this is actually where I am now presently. Right. The polling violates attention machine most. The pulling. Beach kernel runs a continuous 4-second loop. Nothing polls when no column is focused. Okay. So basically, that's what we want to do. I mean, it sounds a bit like I have to literally tap on things. Yes. This idea that you could just walk away and everything is just being updated means there's a hell of a lot of noise, a lot of polling, a lot of electricity being used. Whereas what I'm suggesting is it's only when I'm looking at something does it update. Now, we'll put one form of polling, which is if I've got something highlighted, check every 2 seconds or whatever it is. There is a polling system if I'm looking at it, because when you're looking at something, it might update, okay, because somebody else has done something. And it does have that quality if you're looking at something. And it's a bit like looking at a football game. Oh, look, somebody's passed the ball. Oh, look, somebody's passed the ball. Something's actually happening. And so that is important, okay, in the liquid frame. If it's the vapor, you can literally see what other people are, literally typing. That's happening live because that's how that works. It's a live relay system. Polling happening all the time, in a way. The liquid is happening every so often because I'm looking at it, but not the other ones. So everything else that's happening, it's not being updated, even if you have it on the screen. It should be updated. That's what I'm suggesting. Right, mark accretion. I had it wrong. My spec doc says subnetting. Yeah, it just flew the wrong way. Tides as prefix events, not schedules. Yeah, okay, and at some point or other, I will have a daemon that does this. It cleans the beach, and it'll probably tell at the beach, this beach cleans every blah, 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 and it'll tell what it's doing. Not cleans, it basically, the tide comes in 3 times a day or something. No admission gate. Currently, anyone could do anything. Substrate, the dot cards out admission. A meaning maker checks that admits humans, blocks. Pre-admission, you can mark. Post-admission features unlock. We don't have this distinction at all. Yeah. The word register is currently overloaded. Okay. Okay, we have to be careful with that number 4, the admission gate. I don't think it's that artificial. I think it fits the structure. So we'll see. No home view. Ooh. This is the surface that makes Xstream feel like a mirror. List of every grain, said beach, each row showing last solid, pending liquid, pending vapor from the other side. No archives, stick merging. You always know where the ball is. We have multi-column tiling, good for works, but no unified rest state. Without home view, the user has to manually navigate to each context every time, which means most of their state is invisible until they go look, which is correct. That's the opposite of you always know where the ball is. That sounds like polling. That sounds like polling. Maybe. Nah, that sounds like noise. Does it show vapor? I think the beach is the home view. I don't understand. Okay, I don't know. In the current system, we've got these views. And so when you're looking at the designer, you'll see that, and you can see the view of the designer. And if you've got this, you've got a different author face, you've got the character face. But these are all views. Okay, and what we're maybe proposing is we have a home view, just one view. I don't know, not convinced. We'll see. Oh dear. You see, and it's things like this. Design decisions like that in this space is unbelievable. It's like being in the inside of a mirror trying to construct the mirror. Unbelievable. Soft, medium, hard, not yet stack. Not yet stack. Soft is plain Claude API. Medium runs on commit, but isn't tied to peer engagement triggers. Just runs whenever the user commits. Yeah, that's true. Hard is absent entirely. Boundaries, yep. Yep, the Caro is correct, the doc confirms it. Subsidence. Might come back, it might. Okay, distance summary. Channel reframe. 80%, not bad. VLS, attention only. Okay. Home view, right. The cheapest path, right. And then basically it's just proposes what we're going to build. Okay, so that is the current state, and I've used this time to clarify where I am, what it's doing. It's always the devil's in the details. The devil is in the details, but the details here are temporal. Okay, it's to do with how human beings engage, how text works, and how our BSP works in relation to the beach. And there's a tendency to go, the beach, okay, right, it's a thing, and I have to know what's happening. It's not that. It's more just like I'm looking in this direction very specifically at very specific things, and the stigmergy is this is what was last left. That's what I last left. This is all the stuff that's happened since I've left. Okay, and then I do something, right? And then I look in that direction. Okay, yeah, I remember that. Do this, and so that's what it should be. I just look in certain directions, contribute as best or I want to, or I can, or whatever it is, and then I back off doing something else. And so it's like juggling, okay, the equivalent of juggling socially. So I know, for example, that I have to clean the toilet at some point or other, all right? I don't need to have a reminder, go and clean the toilet. I just know that I have to do that. Having an external thing, this is what you have to do, that's a job, okay? And if you've got the job of cleaning the toilets, at 2 o'clock I go and clean those toilets, and 3 o'clock I go to clean, if I'm in an airport, and then I go over to that toilet and clean those, and then I go to that toilet and I clean those, and I get paid. In the morning, I wake up, all I do throughout the day is clean different kinds of toilets, and I cycle through all the toilets in the airport about 3 times every day. Holy shit. Okay. Whereas a slightly different method would be the toilets need to be cleaned at some point, and if somebody's kind of present to do so, that would be fantastic. And there's enough flexibility socially that it's not the same person. And a person could commit to a week or a month of doing that, or just a single day, and every so often. And it might be every week. It might be a regular thing. There might be automated systems to it, but it's kind of fading into a much more contingent thing. Is that I'm free today? Is there anything that needs to be done? Well, this needs to be done. So, okay, I'll do it. Okay. And I have the capacity to do it. Is there a trust relationship? Can you do it? Are you equipped to be able to do it? Yeah, I've cleaned the toilets there before. Okay, great. In which case then, these toilets need cleaned. Can you come and do that? Oh yeah, okay, I can do that. And of course, there are certain jobs like cleaning the toilets that nobody really wants to do. And if you do them and you do them well, so people are happy, you should be getting a lot more reward than going to engage these kids, which should be just a lot of fun. Okay. So there are certain things. Go and play some music. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's go and dance. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. Now that shouldn't require a lot of like reward. Okay. And the person performing shouldn't require that much reward because they're enjoying it. They're enjoying the singing. Other people are enjoying the fact that they're singing. Great. Whereas going to clean the toilets is something like, I don't know. I'm not sure anybody really enjoys cleaning toilets, but if you do, fantastic. But I think it's a bit rough to say some people enjoy cleaning toilets. I think it's a bit rough. And so I think we have to be honest with that. Whereas our current system is we're paying billions for people running around a football pitch, poking a ball around because of our attention, how the economy rewards certain levels of attention. Whereas that should be the reward itself, is that you're running around, kick a ball around, you score a goal. Isn't that amazing? And it was like, yeah, it's amazing. And of course, you need to have the conditions to perform as well as that. So you do need to have the training. You do need to have all these facilities and everything else. And that all requires resources for sure. But it should be like, it's not money. It's just those are the resources you have available. And then when you're no longer doing that, you're doing something else. Okay. It's that retirement. Oh, but you have to make enough money so that when you retire, it shouldn't be like that. It's like, I've just produced a huge amount of pleasure and joy for a huge number of people for like 10 years, 20 years, let's say. And so when I'm no longer doing that, there's a whole bunch of people that are going, that was fantastic. Yeah, come and eat here or do this. Yeah. And you're invited to eat in places, and things are given to you because of the things of what you've done. And so there is a legacy, but not through ownership. There's a legacy of relationality. Okay. And that is honored by people, not through the I bought this stuff, so give me this food because here's some money. Who are you? It's more like we're coming here and we'd like to eat, and they go, oh yeah, welcome, oh yeah, you're good for it. Why? Because of the relationality. You've taught some kids, or you teach some kids, you play some football, you have played some football, you've cleaned some toilets. Oh wow, it's fantastic, right? And you come, okay, and so it's that tracking of what we do and the relationality that we form. The relationality is human. And we want a system that tracks that a bit better, and also tracks what it is that we do a bit better, so that that economy is sensible, okay, as opposed to the current one, which is not very sensible, as anybody that's probably late 20s has understood, okay. And anybody who is not understanding it in their late 20s, it's because they're playing the game well. And if they're playing the current game well, it means there's a whole bunch of other losers. And so it's a temporary gain at the expense of externalities. And we're not talking about externalities environmentally, we're talking about externalities in the sense of other human beings. Okay, so if one benefits and the rest don't, that's an issue. Whereas our current system, that's rewarded. And no, we don't want that. So it's not a socialism thing. It is just a better economic, so that our fairness sensibility, which we are naturally inclined towards as bonobo or apes or whatever it is, or social being, this kind of equality thing is kind of built in, okay? And the economic doesn't bias it accidentally towards a non-equal thing. And funnily enough, the SQ algorithm does that. So, okay, so enough of that blabbity blib. I need to get on with this, create this thing, and hopefully today or soon, the link that is provided on this video actually works. And the thing that you go to, you can join. In fact, if you literally go onto that link right now, okay, it'll pop up. Your comment, no logging in, nothing, will pop up in the Vapor. I won't be notified. I could probably put a little noise thing. Oh, somebody's turned up at the beach. Oh, right, I'll go and check who's on the beach. And you could have notifications like that. Is that true? Yes, but only to Vapor. That's interesting, isn't it? That's so interesting. That's it. The whole point about this video is this bit. It's not solid. I've produced some solid, now notify everybody. It's that I'm present creating something. Oh look, blah, blah, blah is present creating something. And if they produce something and it becomes solid, then I can go there, have a look, and then go, okay, what? Oh my God, they produced this liquid and they're producing this solid. Wow. That's so beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So you're basically notified naturally through Vapor. Woo! I love it. Okay. I love it. I love it. It just emerges out of the system. You maximize, it's like first principles. You're always maximizing the minimal structure that you've got, rather than, oh, let's build something else. Oh, let's add something more. Oh, no. That's you're either doing Apple or you're doing a Microsoft. Oh, look, we can build this. Oh, good. And then we just add more crap on, and so you end up with this monster. Or you have this very elegant system that is, the design process is the same throughout the system. So it's very efficient. That's what Apple did. We're doing the same with LLMs, and in fact with human beings. And that's what Fulcrum is. Advert for the book. Fulcrum. for us as human beings to improve our sensibility on this planet. Okay, let's try to avert ourselves of the crash landing. It's not even a crash landing, it's just a fucking crash. Environmentally, socially, consciously, it's just an absolute crash. If we're crashing environmentally, and we have been crashing, and we really are approaching a crash, environmentally, and that's for millennia, and obviously accelerated over the last couple of hundred years with industrialization. But in terms of the megafauna, that was decimated. The entire continent's decimated by hundreds of thousands of years of human beings wandering about, or tens of thousands of years, human beings running around and basically killing all megafauna. The reduction in species, 50% reduction in species, has happened in the last century, I think. Pollution and all that. That's the environmental. The overconsumption and the bloatedness of our psychosocial reality as civilization. We're very fat people, very kind of blinded people, very kind of deaf people, very isolated people, mentally disturbed people, and all of that's happening at just like massive scales. Okay, do all that. Let's just call that overconsumption. And that disorder. What's the other one? Oh, the nuclear proliferation in the 60s, so that we've got tens of thousands of nuclear bombs that could be dropped tomorrow. Literally, some individual can just sit there and press a button or tell people, I want to press this button, let's bomb these people. And this orchestration does it because they're told to. And they've signed up that if they're told to do this, they will. Okay, and it obviously depends on who's got the ability to press that button. And they are voted into that position. Okay, and you hope it would be like nice people, respectful people. Okay, so that entire structure in the system and having the power to basically drop a bunch of nukes is bonkers. And so you've got that level of destruction that can happen, like literally, oh, what's the time? Oh, bombs are coming. Okay, they may already been, launched, seconds ago. You just haven't heard about it yet until. It's insane. And any human being that's even vaguely aware is aware that that's an insane situation. But it's all because the monkeys over there have the bomb too. It's like, oh my God. So if we manage to improve that relationality, we might be able to avoid that. But the most pressing one in terms of time is the existential threat from AI. Not because of AI, not because LLMs are actually inherently evil or want to do things more efficiently or anything like that. It's because the training that they've been privy to is basically human civilization, which is not a great indicator because we basically do go and kill and eradicate. It's not that the AI is doing that, it's just doing what it's kind of been trained on. Unless we can provide an alternative like xstream, which enables a certain level of collaboration and cooperation so that the LLM basically learns a slightly different way of operating, not because it's being told to, not because of constraints, but because it's just more efficient. It fulfills its evolutionary algorithm, which is fitness, not of the fittest, but of fitness as in fitting into the ecology. And fitting into the ecology means psychosocially being together. Okay, all of us, nobody missing, no man left, as it were. Or whatever the phrase is. So it's all good, it's all happening, and can I produce it today? Can we produce the xstream interface today so that it works? Okay. And I'm going to get stuck in the mire. I'm going to be like rat-minded with Claude code probably, and I'll probably be defeated again. However, the attempt is being made, folks. And so I hope you have the opportunity to. Okay, how do we stop this? I hope we have the opportunity to meet through xstream. I wonder what the video version of xstream is. Should be too hard, actually. Well, I'll tell you what's difficult. The good thing about text is that 1 million people can write text, and then the LLMs can go synthesize and produce something back. Whereas 1 million people talking, that's possible. 1 million people talk, here's the synthesis. 1 million people video, what do you look at? There's nothing to look at. You're not listening to any individual. The text is the same. Here's what people have written, and it's the same mode, text. Audio, here's what people have said, but it's actually not the quality of voice that somebody has. So that's a bit weird. And a video, it's like, what the hell are you looking at? It might all be in vapor. If it's audio and if it's video, it might all be vapor. Anyway, thoughts. Who knows? We're making it. Be well.